What's up, my loves and fellow creatives? Just checking in to do some custom designs today, so I figured y'all might want to hang out. I just received my custom Professor X toaster strudels. I'm quite honored. It's one of my favorite X-Men. And I guess it's because I'm always stuck on this darn computer. But that's alright because I'm here for you all, and I know y'all love Professor X too. Hey, hey, hey. And I know there's been a lot going on lately, a lot of um, just randomness all over the place, but I am definitely doing my best to maintain, right? As I know you all are too, and thrive. I'm not gonna just say I'm maintaining, I'm thriving. And I'm gonna claim it. Alright, so this afternoon, I was gonna say morning, but the morning is gone and passed me by. Let's go ahead and get started on this design here. We're going to do graduation for photos. So first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and prep my photos. Let's go ahead and get remove BG pulled up and log in. You got it. And let's go ahead and drag and drop these images straight from the folder. So I have 4 photos. I'm going to drop them one at a time. That one looks good. Photo 2. Photo 3. I don't know why you would take the picture with your finger over the part of the photo that we need, but I will do my best to fix that. Okay. Let's see what else. And normally I would, charge extra for that, but because this is one of our fellow creatives and I have a little extra time, I'm going to see what I can do about that. Let's see, what else do we need? We have one more photo, right? Got photo 4. Let's pull that one in. Alright, and then just a little bit here that could be cleaned up. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and download the HD versions of these just to go ahead and get things going. There's 1, 2. There's 3, and then we'll have 1 more to go. I'm going to go ahead and close out of that now. Let's pull back open our Photoshop. And let's see here. What are we adding? I do have the mascot in a different folder, so I'm going to go pull that up. And while the computer is looking for that, we can go ahead and start changing out some of the elements here. So let's go ahead and go with the photo number 1. And then what I'm going to do, instead of doing these photos as smart object, because it's not necessary to do that, I'm just going to go ahead and turn off or delete the front photos. And then I also have a background photo here. And that way we can kind of see what we're working with and build as we go. Right, and meanwhile, we'll go ahead and start pulling in our photos here. And I'm going to go where it says back photos. Let's see, we don't have anything in the back photos or the front photos folder. So I'm thinking this image is going to be our main image here. Make it a little bit larger. So that's photo number 1, photo number 2, and we can bring in more than one photo at a time as well. Photo 3 is the one that I said would be fun. And it's a cute baby picture, so I got to do something better to that. And photo number 4. I'm just dragging them in one at a time, but I literally could have selected all 4 using Control or Shift and just brought them all over at once. But I kind of wanted to see one at a time where I would even be able to place these. So I think that maybe the baby picture goes up front, and then the other 2 photos will go in the back photos folder, which would be underneath the logo. Oh, you know what? This one we're doing the Just Did It. Do I have Just Did It on here? Let me see if I didn't delete it. Boom, there we go. And then the 2021 is text that I'll just leave there extra. Alright, so baby photo, super cute. We'll fix that. So this one we're doing it Just Did It. We're not doing the senior 2021. Alright, so I'm trying to think of best placement. I think I'm going to get good placement here. May have to make it a little smaller, and of course we'll fade off our image and everything. Make it a little bit smaller. And then I'll put this behind the logo there, but I'll let it go in front of the Just Did It, and I'll show you how to do that in just a moment. Baby photo, let's see, where is that going to go best? And I could have, you know what, I could be really clever and put the baby photo here behind the Did It, and I won't have to fix anything. Let's see how that works out. And then we can go ahead and exchange this photo here. Place it in the front. And let's see how our other photos are looking, because we may need to mix them up a little bit. So I'm thinking this shoulder's cut off. I want to hide that part. I'm going to fade that off. Alright, that should work. Although I sort of feel that this should be the main image. And this is where the fun happens, right? This is where you kind of play with your design, see what's going to fit your end goal best. And I think if we have the graduation photo as our focal image, that's going to work better. There we go. Then I can fade that side off, fade the bottom off. Go ahead and put the Did It in front of the hair there. And then of course, let's go ahead and just take this entire photo and drop it behind. Drop it in our back photos. There we go. Not much work to do there. We'll go ahead and take our little logo here. And let's see, did I find the other one yet? Let me just go with this folder and see where it is. And that one. There we go. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and exchange this logo. It's a smart object. So when I right click on the logo, I'm going to turn off. Well, let's keep the original one on just so I can kind of see how we're going to replace it. And then we'll put this one on top. Then we'll turn off the existing logo, hit yes to save that, and let's see how that updates. Perfect. So now I'm going to take this logo that's for the period and just put it over that period. And the logo, this logo was actually for the other setup, so I am going to turn it off. And then I have a little background logo here, the watermark. If you notice, there's a little background logo there. It's a little inconspicuous, but that's how it's supposed to be. So I will leave that alone right there. And then let's go ahead and change our colors for the smart color here. It's a gradient. And what I'm going to do is just bring over my logo just for a quick second, and then I'm going to delete it because I just want to pick my gradient color here. Let's pick the gold, and we'll keep it gold to black. And then I'm going to delete, uh-oh, did I not hit save? My bad. There we go. Let's delete that logo now because we don't need it to be there. It's just going to take up extra space. Yes, let's delete the logo. Now when we save this, it should update our entire colorway now. We call it a smart color. Alright, so we have our color updated here. It's going from the black to the gold. And this one, maybe we do want to do the yellow gold. I'm going to go back a second, because I'm thinking we do want to do the yellow gold because I see that the color here we used was yellow. So instead of bringing in the logo, I'll actually just bring in the photo, and we'll pick a color from the photo. I'm going to punch that up just a little bit because I feel like it's a little weak. Alright, so let's see how that looks. Let's get rid of the photo now. Let's update our smart color. And then if we need to go to the Vegas gold, we can. Now what I'm going to have to do also is change the gold for the Vegas gold in the logo, because I want them to match. Good deal. Chrissy Poo's working in the background and then screencasting. Good deal, love. Stay working. I might go live later today to finish that hoodie that I was going to show you all yesterday. I got caught up in having to get ready for class as well. So, like I said, it's been a little crazy, but I ain't complaining. Alright, so now that's the yellow gold. Now I don't really see in this logo where the yellow gold is clashing, but I do see, you know, the Vegas gold is mostly here. So I can go to my logo. I can use the magic wand, and instead of, I'm making sure contiguous is deselected. So it's going to select anywhere I touch where there's gold. Contiguous, it only selects the like color that it's touching. Alright, so this is all over. Let's go ahead and do a little quick layer on top of that, and I should have done this before, but I'm going to grab this hex color for the gold in here. So let me go to that color stop and just grab that code. So I'm going to copy it, and then I don't even have to save this because technically I didn't do anything to it. And when I go to my logo with the color correction, let's just drop that color right on top. Oh. I have to choose that color, so I'm going to paste the hex code here. I have my new yellow. Let's drop that there. And then we can save this and it updated for us. Perfect. Now I do see it gave me a little bit of darkness here. Let me see what's going on with that. I'll brighten up my levels just a bit so it gives me more of that pure color. Alright, and anything else I need to do with this one? Just checking to see if we, excuse me, if we need to add any extra words or anything of that nature. Oh, yep, name. So we're going to put the name on this one. And let's see, I think I already have an area with the name on it. So the text, let's just turn off the 2021. Let's turn off the class of, and we have the name here. Double click, paste the new name. And let's do Control T to resize that a little bit. Getting a little lag here. There we go. And then of course I'm going to fade off these photos. Now that I know where they're going, I can determine what I need to fade off. So let's go to photo 1. Let's add a layer mask. Grab a brush here. Make sure it's a soft round brush. Right now it's about 400 pixels. That should be pretty good. I want to make sure that black is selected because black is going to conceal while white reveals. So photo 1, photo 2. That's this one up here. Go ahead and add a layer mask there. Fade that one off. Photo 3, we just need to fade off the bottom there, so we'll add a layer mask. Get rid of little hard lines down there, and we don't even have to do anything to the hair because it's hidden right below the D. So that saved me a little extra work. And then photo, so one more photo. There it is right there. Let's add a layer mask and fade that one off. And there was a little bit here. It probably doesn't look so bad now. Now I'm going to turn on contiguous because I want it to select the black that's touching right here and right here. Grab that little outside there, and I'm going to grab my paintbrush onto my layer mask, and I'm going to paint away that black there. Alright, I think that's it. And then if we want to do the name of the school as well, we can do the name. Let's duplicate the name down here with the smart color. I'm holding down Alt so I can duplicate this. And we'll double click on the text here. Let's copy the name of the school because I don't want to misspell it. Paste it there. Control T so we can transform that, squish it in just a little bit. There we go. And I'll raise this photo up just a bit so the text isn't right over his mouth. And knowing me, I'm going to do something, a little something right now because this red on his shirt is kind of distracting to me. So what I'm going to do is a Hue Saturation adjustment layer here. And then I'm going to pick the color that's in his shirt, which is probably in his flesh tone too. So yes, those are reds. And I'm going to just shift the color. And I don't have to make it the color of the school. A lot of times what I'll do is I'll just make it like a gray or something. And the way that I get away with that is by bringing the saturation all the way down, making it gray. Then it doesn't matter which hue you select, you're still making that part gray. Now what we're going to do is right click and create a clipping mask so that that layer only affects the level or the layer underneath it. And let me go ahead and use my paintbrush to brush away the effects from the flesh tone here. Alright, and then I get a little more precise here, make the brush a little smaller by holding down Control Alt, dragging the mouse to the left, and then I'll go back with the white. And doing this with the mouse is a little hard. I find doing it with the stylus is easier. But this is just one of those quick fixes that nobody asked me to do, so I don't really expect anybody, you know, to pay for that if they don't know that they need it. But to me it makes my design look cleaner, and I'm willing to do that because honestly, when you do one of these and you submit them to a parent or someone who requested, I promise you if you get it out really quickly and you're able to kind of show off, then they will order more. Especially if this is already last minute, you can show them, hey, I can get this design out to you today. Go ahead and see if anybody else wants them. I'm ordering shirts by the end of the day. If you can get 10 shirts by the end of the day, instead of $35 a piece, I'll do them for $25 a piece. And watch them collect orders. Just trying to get some of those caps and those hands in there. And I think we are Gucci. Let's go ahead and save, because I have not been doing my save dance this whole time. Let's save it as a PSD, and because the customer elected to do this one live, I'm going to send them the source file for free. And then I'm also going to go ahead and save the PNG. I have to do save as for PNGs. And in this case, it's not working for me, so I'm going to do file, save a copy, and then do the PNG. Boom, that's done. And because this was a 1 hour, let me go ahead and send this one before I get started on some of the other ones. Alright, then all I need to do is grab the Photoshop file now. Alright, so we have that one sent off. Let me see if y'all have any questions or anything. Hey Sarah, yes, we can do baseball templates, but I do want you to kind of see too that no matter what these are, whether it's graduation, baseball, football, basketball, that we can interchange these templates. I've even used some of these, like I've used a template like this for graduation, anniversary, weddings, birthdays, kitty birthdays. Pretty much, as long as you know how the elements work, you get an idea of how to interchange your graphics so that it fits any occasion. But that would be a good challenge. All right, so let's see what's next. What's next? I'm just letting y'all work with me today. So hopefully you're still getting your stuff done while I'm doing this little randomness on your screen right now. And just in case y'all thinking there's nothing wrong with the mic, I just muted myself while I took a couple of bites of lunch because I'm trying to do 10 things at once, and I'm pretty sure y'all don't want to hear me over here chewing and my jaw popping. All right, now for this next one, I'm not sure why it's just now popping up, but this one, this one's gonna be a birthday, as far as I can see. Let me go ahead and get this one going. And maybe you'll get to see some of the versatility because I don't know if they necessarily chose a birthday template or not. I'm just letting them know I'm like working on this one right now, live. If you'd like to join me, youtube.com/Innate Lab. Alright, so sending that one over. Alright, so let's see what template this one is. This is going to be interesting. So a template and a photo. Oh, just one photo. Look at that. And then this one's going to be a 50 and fabulous. So this should be fun. Let's go ahead and see what template we're doing for this one. Oh, our roses. And see, this is actually a graduation template, but we're going to turn it into a 50 and fabulous. Why not? And let me check to see if this is going to be an all over or 13 by 19. This is an all over design. This is all over graduation caps through. There we go. Let's go ahead and download it. Alright, now this one is all over. It has a layer mask on it right now, so let's go ahead and disable that layer mask and see what's going on there. Oh, I forgot I had that one back there. I think somebody told me they had that one hidden back there. Cool. Alright, so let's go ahead and see what elements we need to change out. We have a few photos on this one. I'm just going to rename this one. Well, no, I'm not going to rename it because we're not using these photos. So we can go ahead and delete those. And delete those. And I'm not going to delete the caps because just in case, since the customer's allowing us to do this one live so that you all can learn as well, I usually give them the Photoshop file when you do that. So just a heads up, if I have time to do a live session, then and you request it, if you purchase the PNG, usually because you allowed us to do this live and you're a member of the Innate Creatives, so you have to answer yes as a member of Innate Creatives and yes to doing the session live, and I will send you the Photoshop file. So you don't have to pay the extra dollars for the extra $20 for the Photoshop file. Basically, as long as you pay for the PNG, then I will send you the Photoshop file. Alright, so let's see, photo here. Let's see if we need to drop it in remove BG. Or you know what, I'll bring the photo in and then we'll see how well Photoshop does it recognizing the image. And I think we're under a color adjustment here. So let me take that and create a clipping mask. There we go. So that cyan was only supposed to be clipping to the graduation caps there. So let's see how well Photoshop does with recognizing the image here. We'll go to our magic wand, select subject. Okay, it looks like it selected pretty decent. I'm going to go to selected mask just to see how it does and probably do the refine hair feature because I want to make sure it doesn't cut out the hair so straight. I wanted to see if it's going to pick up those little subtle textures and little strands of hair there, and I think that did much better there. Alright, and I'm going to feather it. Usually I feather either 1 to 2 pixels depending on the image size. That looks good, and I'm good with that. So instead of remove BG, we're going to use our feature. And see, there's a little bit of blue still in there. And if I really wanted to, I would take and do my Hue Saturation And anything that was either blue or cyan, so if I go to my blues, I can pull the saturation all the way down. You see that takes out some of that blue in the outside of her hair. And then I could do the same thing with the cyans, take the saturation all the way down because she wasn't wearing anything blue. So now it takes that color distraction, that halo that was around her hair. All right, and here's another thing. Because this is one of our clients for the Innate Creatives group, I am going to kind of clean this image up a little bit, okay? So I'm going to right click and go ahead, well, let me rasterize this first. And then I'm going to apply this layer mask. And then what I'm going to do is just grab a little section of hair, maybe from here, Control C, Control V, I just copied and pasted a little section of it, and I'm going to Control T to transform, right click, flip it horizontal, and my goal here is just so that it doesn't make it look like her hair is cut off there. So I'm going to place it right there, and that kind of automatically helps me out, but I'm going to go a little step further. Let's bring the opacity down a little bit so I can see where it is, or I'll bring the opacity down in the background image just a little bit so I can see where it's covering. Let's add a layer mask there. I'm going to grab my paintbrush, and I'm just going to make these edges kind of fuzzed out just a little bit. I need to use black though on my layer mask. And see, I'm kind of fading it out just a little bit so that when I place this on top of the existing hair, it's not going to be a harsh competition. Okay, so then it looks like it's naturally in there. I could do the same thing here to the top. See where it's cut off so abruptly there? Grab my little piece here. And this is how you can give yourself a little volume too. You know, sometimes we want a little extra little oomph around the hair there. You can most certainly do that. So I'm going to create another copy of this, Control T. Now this one, it kind of looks like there's going to be two bumps, like one bump here, another bump going the other direction. So I'm going to mask off this part out here. Oh, that's me coloring. I need to be on the layer mask. Alright, so I'm going to mask that off. Clean that up a little bit so it's not really competing, but it's just giving me a little fill there. Alright, so let's duplicate this one. And let's Control T, and we're going to transform it and then flip it. Let's flip horizontal. And there we go. So now we kind of get that part in there. And it's not perfect, but it just looks natural, right? So now I can take all of these layers and make sure nothing crazy is going on. I think we're good. I'm going to go ahead and merge those layers. So now it's one image. Alright, so we can move on. Now I can go ahead and fade off the edges here. I'm going to add a layer mask to the entire photo. Make my brush a little bit bigger. Make sure black is selected because black conceals and white reveals. So I want to conceal some of this area. Alright, and let's see what text and colorway we want to go with here. The message is 50 and fabulous. So let's take the 2020, and as a matter of fact, let me take all my text and I'm going to group it just in case she wants to keep this congratulations text. So I'm going to call this congrats, name, year. And then I'm going to duplicate, right click, duplicate that group. So for the 2020, now is 50 gold or silver? I think 50 might be gold. So let's take the class of and turn that to 50 because it's already colored gold. It already has a metallic look to it. And then we'll make the name here. And I don't think I have this font on the system. What is the name of this font? Master of Comics. I'm going to go ahead and escape out of that, and well, let's just use a different font because I don't have all my fonts on this computer. But I guess it's a good opportunity to show you how to find it. Master of Comics, font, the font is there. Download. I show that in the folder. And install. It's as simple as that. So when you all ask me like, hey, I don't have this font, it's not my font to give to you or to use, so this is going to have to be something that you download. Now I do have some fonts that I develop, and those are on the Innate Lab website, and you'll see those. So let's see, this was master. Oh, that wasn't master of break, that was master of comics. Here we go. And then instead of typing, I'm going to copy and paste. That way I make sure that I am not misspelling anything or just making a mistake that maybe the customer doesn't see right away. Let's make 50 bigger. At 50, something like a big deal. And of course, our subject here is looking gorgeous at 50. So let's take our fabulous here and let's drag it on top of the 50. And of course we need an and, so maybe the ampersand could be silver. So we'll take the word congratulations, double click, let's do the ampersand sign. Oh, this one of course doesn't have an ampersand sign because it's personal use. Let me see, or was that the text? Yep, so if it doesn't have it, what happens is it comes in looking a little weird. So let's see if we can find a font that we like that would have that symbol. And I'm just gonna type an ampersand symbol. There we go, I like that one. And I'm gonna copy, I already copied the layer style, I'm gonna paste the layer style on it so it looks the same as that previous one. Let's do Control T. And the other reason why I redid this text is because the other one was slanted, and I'm not sure how I was feeling that slant. Alright, let's go ahead and do the save dance because I see some weird stuff going on with my display right now, and I don't even want to test it or play with it. Alright, so let's see here. Let's zoom out, zoom in, if it will allow. There it goes. So we got rid of that. I don't know what's going on with that little line right there. I'm going to bring my guides back too because I want to make sure that everything is kind of centered and won't get cut off. So here is my text and photo save area. I'm kind of pushing it with this fabulous because it gets really short and close to the small medium. So I can either make my text a little bit smaller, rotate it so that it's not so extremely down below that safe line, and then I'm going to pull it up. And then for the photo, I'll call this the photo. I'm going to go ahead and make it a little bit smaller so we can move it up. And it doesn't compete so much with the text here. Alright, and this one is going to be blue background. Okay, so let's change this one to blue. Let's go to our roses. Got a hue saturation here. And in order to make it blue, let's see, let's create a clipping mask. And I'm just playing with the hue right now. Oops. I forgot that was actually a clipping mask that was intended to take away the blue from that area. So I'm going to clip that down to the photo. Now what I was trying to do is get the roses. And I know I have a hue saturation for that. Alright, so those are my bottom roses. Where are my top? Here are the top roses. And we have a hue saturation layer there. Now that is, it just says blue. Now maybe she's talking about the blue background that was in the photo here before. So let me go to the previous photo. And I forgot it's not a smart object anymore. So let's go to the folder. Maybe she's talking about that blue. So let's just open that up and then I can pick that color blue and kind of see if we can get something similar to that. I'm copying the hex code here. And then I'm just going to do a new adjustment layer and do it a solid color. And picking that color here. And I'm going to drag this to our roses layer. Now the blend mode, let me go ahead and put it on, let's put it on color. And then we're going to play with these levels a little bit so that it affects the red roses a little bit different. So let's duplicate that levels because I'm going to keep my existing levels. Go ahead and recreate this clipping mask. And I'm going to call this the levels for the, just call that sky blue. So in order to get the sky blue, I need to play with these levels just a little bit so that my midtones really accept that blue. And then that way, if I lighten it up a little bit, let me add a black and white layer adjustment here too, so it takes that black and white out. Oh no, I don't need to if I'm doing a color. There we go. And maybe that's the blue that we're talking about here. And if I need to adjust it any further, I'm certain that I can. Alright, and if that's the case, if we're going to do blue there, then I'm also going to take the Fabulous and make it blue as well. So I'm going to double click on the FX here. Go to my color overlay. And I think I can paste that blue there. And I'm going to do like maybe a solid color black in there just a little bit, just to make that text stand out a little bit and maybe bring down the opacity. There we go, just makes it stand out just a little bit more. Alright, so I think we may have hit it for the colors, the text, and I'm going to take off the guidelines here just so we can get an idea of the entire design. And this is the name of that file, and if you look on the Innate Lab website, it's, if you type in the word graduation, you'll see this one. It has roses, so if you type in roses, you'll see this one. If you type in graduation, you'll see this one. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and save that. And then I think we have one more for this one. I'm going to keep this open because I think we may be using the same image. And since I've already played with it and cleaned up the hair, I want to make sure that I don't have to redo that work. And let's see, this one we're either going to do the field of flowers or this one. So normally I make out pick. Let's see. Deli, do you happen to be here, love? If you are, feel free to speak in the comments if you need to see any changes. All right. Yep. And if y'all happen to use my my Innate Lab affiliate link to get your Photoshop, it tips me without you having to pay me directly out of pocket because it doesn't cost you anything extra, but I do get a little commission for referring those type of links. So if you would use my affiliate links, it would help me out tremendously. And then also it lets those business partners know how much of a pool that we have when it comes to Photoshop and resources and things we need. So the more that you use those links, the more that I can go to Photoshop and say, hey, I've had X amount of people who have purchased your product with my recommendation. We're having this problem. Can you help address that for us? So once these businesses start to see that a group of folks are not only using the products but also calling them out on things that need to be changed, they're more than likely willing to listen to us because they know we have a platform. So if y'all stick with me on the platform, then we can kind of get more things going and moving. All right, and Deli, is that you? Newness Imprints. Now let me show you something. I'm going to turn on the guidelines here. So depending on what size shirt you're printing, the reason why I tell y'all to stay inside of this dotted line area here is because if we're printing, let's say, a small or a medium shirt, then this 5 is already pushing it close to the edge and could potentially get cut off on a small shirt. Same thing goes for anything that you put outside of this line. So yeah, you can get close, you can flirt with it a little bit, but if you really put things outside of this area, especially legible parts of the text or like parts of someone's face that you don't want to get cut off, you're kind of in a danger zone. Okay, so this is why I call this a safe zone, the safe area. Now if you're printing a 3X, then you just have extra stuff out here. So if you wanted this image to look bigger on a 3X, you absolutely can make the image bigger. You just have to know that if you're doing anything smaller than a 3X, that you're probably going to lose your words. And I've seen people send me prints over and over again, and I can't tell whether you're going to press them on a 3X. So I just have to assume you know what you're doing. But if you stick with my advice and don't design outside of this box, you don't end up with the possibility of cutting off important parts of the image. All right, I got you, love. Let's see. So you want a red or pink? Now we had red roses before. Let me show you how we can kind of make sure that if you want some red and pink or you want to fade from one color to another, we can go to the layer mask and let's do a gradient. Well, you know what? Let's do the brush tool because I want to follow this curve here. So I'm going to bring my brush tool up. I'm on the layer mask. Black is going to conceal. So if I kind of follow this here, I end up bringing some of that color back. But you know, you would lose some of it too, depending on what you want to show. And in this case, for this particular part, just for the sky blue, I'm going to delete that layer mask and Alt click and drag this layer mask here. So then I have the red from the red roses. Then I have the lighter blue. And I can also do Control T and transform just that layer mask area. So I can get more of the blue and pull it down. We can also add some color down here. So let's say we disable that layer mask. And this made it go from darker blue to the lighter blue. And let's say we wanted to put some pink down here. Let's go ahead and grab that color fill. I'm going to drag and drop it up here. Alright, and let's see what we're going to do to recolor this. We've got the hue and saturation probably pulled completely down for this one. So let's apply this to the whole thing here. Oh, that's for the bottom. That's for the bottom, and we'll do color. I think I have something going on above this that's cutting the color off. Let me see. Hue saturation there. Above there, that's where it is. Let's create a clipping mask here. Alright. So now we can kind of play if you want to do the roses top and bottom. Oh, and I meant to create a copy, but I think it completely moved this. So let me bring that back. And put that back on the color mode. Take that layer mask and drop it on there. Alright, so let's say we wanted to make this area down here pink. You want pink or red, or you want me to show you the red? Or I can show you the pink. I think pink is going to do better with this kind of blue, because I used the blue from the background of your image. It was kind of like a sky blue. So let's see how that looks with pink instead. And I'm just going to guess a good pink. And that's like a nice little light pink, but we can also, like I said, adjust the levels and the hue and saturation here to kind of get a different effect out of the color. So I'm playing with the levels here. If we want a little more pink there, a little less white. You see how I'm playing with these levels? And if I take the pink off, you'll see what happens when I play with the levels. I'm playing with my highlights, my shadows, and my midtones. And once I apply the color to it, it affects that much differently. Alright, and let me know, do you want to do, I have the gold here, I have gold and silver, just because I wasn't sure if you wanted to go with either one of those metallics. And then if you're going to print on a large, extra large, or a large and a 3x, so I could do this a bit bigger. So let's take the photo and the text. So let's do photo. That hue saturation. And really the photo should be there in the photos folder. Alright, so let's do the photos, and we'll call this one 50 and Fabulous. And you'll get this Photoshop file too. So you'll have the graduation stuff on there, and you'll have your 50 and Fabulous on there. Now let's say that maybe now I want to go in and do the pink color. I can go to my color overlay here, and right now it's on white, but I can select one of these pinks here. Yeah, and I think this pink really complements the blue too. So let me know what you think though, because this is your project. I want to make sure it's right for you. And as far as the gold, if you want it silver instead, you just turn off the yellow color overlay, and then that way it is now silver. So let me know which one you like for that, and I'm going to go ahead and if you could tell me which one of whether it's the bouquet here or the field. So the field or the bouquet of flowers. And I have both of those templates, so just let me know which one you like better for the second design, and we'll go ahead and start working on that one. You like the gold? Good deal. Okay. Awesome, awesome. And this one happens to have some little blings in it too, so you can enjoy playing with those. And absolutely, if you wanted to, you could turn them off or on, but I think they're fitting in this instance. So I think I like it. Let me know if you want me to take them off. All right, so let me go ahead and save what I'm working on here. And let's go ahead and see what the next template, how to figure out what it's called. So while I'm figuring out what it's called, I gotta, this is what I have to do. Hopefully we end up with a better version of how you select the template. I'm working on all of that. It's just been taking some time. So I'm gonna go to the 10-minute templates. Shanon and Son, if you go to the design print services, there is an option here to do design services. So you can go to custom design, and depending on how quick you need it and how many photos you need, the price changes. But this is definitely your way to have things designed for you until you kind of muster up the courage, because it's not about the talent and the skill, because once you get the courage to start doing the academy classes, I think that you'll find, because you can do them self-paced too, you can do the pre-recorded, you'll find that once you know how to do a couple of templates, you get the idea of how all those templates work. So I think you'll eventually phase out ever needing me to design for you, but that option is there if you need it. Okay. All right, so I am looking up the field of flowers. So this one, and then I have to find out what the name of it's called. Well, you know what? Let's see. Let's try this one. This one is a little cool. Of course, we can take the unicorn out. This one's different. We don't do this one too often. If you want to see what these elements look like, let's try it out and see. All right, so let's take off our photos there. And I want you to see that there are some gradient colors already in here. And you know what? Let me show you how to make this template be a smart color. Why not? So, as you can see, I already have like some gradient colors on here. That one's really pretty. We do a solid color as well. So let's see what this one looks like with the custom text in the photo. So I'm going to take the photo here, and if you notice, Deli, I don't know if you were here when we were modifying the photo, but the parts of the photo that were cut off by the frame of the photo, we went and we took a piece of your hair here, and then we built it on to the outside here to give us that texture all the way around, so it doesn't look like it was cut off by the edge of the photo. So that's why I'm going to keep this one. Matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and merge this down. Alright, and I'm going to drag this photo right from this template. Boom, drop it right into this template. And let's place it in the photos folder. And it's still got that nice little fade off and all. Go ahead and turn on our guidelines here. And let's check and see what we were doing for the text here. We're going to put it's my 50th birthday. So I'm going to copy the word birthday. And because I'm going to give you this template, I'm going to keep the text as is. And then I'm going to duplicate it. So you'll have the be a unicorn text if you need to use that for one of your clients. And then we'll go ahead and change this out for the new design. Alright, so all I'm doing is just double clicking on that T, and then I'm going to do Control T here just to resize the text. There we go. And then let's say the top here where it says in a field, let's do it's my. And then the next text, let's do 50th. And I don't know if this is you and your birthday, love, but if it is, happy birthday. Happy birthday. And you look amazing. Now I'm kind of pushing it going outside of this top here, but I know you're doing larger shirts, so we're able to push it a little bit bigger. All right, and so let's make this a smart color deal. So I'm going to take this gradient, and I'm going to call it smart color. So y'all get to see me make a smart color right now. Let's right click and convert to smart object. So now that smart color is going to apply everywhere that I tell it to apply. So what I'm looking for are areas that I want to apply the color. So here, of course, to the flowers, I have it done. I'm going to alt click and drag it down to the background there. You see how I recolored the background based on that gradient. And it's supposed to be alt clicking and dragging, but it's just doing what it wants to do. It's just dragging it. Let me hold down alt. I think I might be having a little lag based on doing this thing live. There we go. All right, so that's now that smart color is applied in two different places. and then of course we can also apply it to the text. So I'm going to alt click and drag it up to the text here, and then what I'm going to do is copy the layer style here, and I'm going to recolor each of these pieces of text. So I have to do Control T because this is going to color the whole image. I just want it to recolor just specific text. So I'm going to make sure that this recoloring area is just big enough to recolor the specific text that I'm looking at right now. So this one is going to be for It's My. I'm going to drag it above It's My. I'm going to right click, create a clipping mask, and then I have to go into my effects for that layer and tell it that I want to recolor external. Alright, you see how now I have that gradient color inside of there? And then I can take that smart color, drag it above my 50th, drag it above my birthday, right click and clip this one to birthday, clip this one to 50th, and then I have to copy the layer style from It's My, and then I'm going to paste it onto 50th and birthday, paste layer style, boom, there we go. Alright, so let's take the smart color for 50th and move it around. And the smart color for birthday needs to come down here. I'll do Control T just to make sure it's going to be big enough, so I'm stretching it out, I'm transforming it. Alright, so now my smart color works for everything. So if I decide to, let me take the smart color and drag it all the way to the top. And then I'm going to bring the opacity for this one down so we don't see it, it's just there for reference purposes. But if I go and I change this color, let me create a duplicate layer and just show you. If I switch those colors out, let's say everywhere that I had pink before, I might want to switch it out with green. Not saying this would be your color option here, but I just want to show you. And it has to begin and end with the same color in order for this type of angle design to work, or angle gradient. So if I hit yes, now I should see my color start to incorporate the green automatically. See, now that has the green in it. And like I said, not that I like the green, it's just that I wanted to show you how that works out. So you have Photoshop CS3. Some of the smart features are not in the older version. They're in the updated version of Photoshop. So when we talk about like smart objects, smart colors, that sort of thing, I don't know if CS3 is going to support that. But of course, you can work with what you have until you need to otherwise. But I definitely suggest doing the $9.99 monthly membership. And the link for that is somewhere in this conversation that we've had today for Photoshop. And I think just for color management and ease of working with the templates, it will probably give you that value. But I understand if you have to use the If you have to use the Photoshop that you have because you already have it, then yes, there will be some limitations, but I think you can still work through most of the templates. All right, you want to do in this one, you said the previous red flowers. So let's duplicate this one and see. Okay, and I'm making up my own red here, and if I want to keep it, let me close up this folder and hit new, and then that way we can keep it just in case. And let's see what that looks like. Just if you want to save that to your desktop in PNG, you can literally go to File, Save As, or you can go to File, Save as a Copy, and that will allow you to save it as a PNG, JPEG, whatever it is that your heart desires. All right, and just looking at it in red, so this is with a red color theme kind of incorporated here. Let me know if that's what you like. I think before they're more of like pinks and yeah, just different versions of pink is the original color. So we can kind of recolor it whatever, whatever you want to see as your theme. And that's what it kind of looks like in red. If you want to use a different photo, go ahead and email me the photo if you haven't already, and I will check to see. And let me know if you like the red or if you want to go with one of the other colorways we just looked at. And I need to move that smart color up. See, it wasn't covering the entire text there, so I need to make sure it covers that entire text. All right, so I don't see an email yet. If we're gonna stick with this photo, now if I need to change out the photo, I can, but at 2, I have a deadline for one that they don't want to do on YouTube, so I do have to get off of YouTube in order to complete that one. So I want to make sure that I can go ahead and get this one to you as soon as we are done with this live. Red flowers, okay, got you. So I'm just going to turn the smart color completely off, and it'll have all the original colors. And like I said, the flowers aren't red, but if you want them to be red, let's go ahead and we have a little filter we can throw on here, a color fill. And let's change just the color of the flowers. Okay, so that makes the flowers red, or we can make them a little deeper red. Now, I don't know, the red with the kind of purple and teal background is a little clashing to me, but you let me know what you think. Because these are, I think some of them are daisies, and some might be some poppies in there too. So pretty much we can make them whatever color you want. Hi Melvin, I'm glad that you are a newbie and ready to learn. I definitely encourage that, and I encourage you to check out our Innate Creatives Facebook group, which is our private Facebook group, and then we also have an academy where we teach. We have pre-recorded classes as well as live classes that we usually do on Sundays. So if you're interested in that type of setup, we have something for you. And as always, I make videos on YouTube for free and show you all what I'm doing, even how I create a lot of what I create, whether it be the templates or redoing some of these designs for clients. So either way it goes, I try to make something for everyone. So I really hope you learned something from us. And then you get to show off, and of course, we want to see when you show off. Okay, so that's red, and then the original color is like a deep pink for some of them, and a little bit of a hot pink. So let me know if which one you want, the red or the pink flowers. Hey Rona. Hey Lisa. All right, so we'll hold off on this one. I'm gonna go ahead and save it. And then if we want to go with those colors in the text, then I'm going to go to my smart color here, and I'm just going to pick maybe the colors from the flower there. Let's grab that pink right there. And then I'm going to grab the lighter pink for the other area and see how you like that to color the text. let's see what that gives us. Melvin, yep, we're using Photoshop. Thank you, Lisa. And I teach Photoshop, also make these templates. So what I just did there was I'm attempting to take the color from the flowers, and then what we can do is remove the color from the flowers and kind of use those as inspiration for the text as well. And then if we don't want it on the background, we have that. All right, so Deli, I'm going to go ahead and save everything, and you have the idea of what things look like. If you need to message me and ask me if you have any changes, I can make any changes. But I have a 2 o'clock that is a 1 hour that I need to go ahead and get done, okay? And I'll be looking out for your changes as well. So I'm saving what I have here, and I will send you a screenshot of this. As a matter of fact, let me go ahead and send it now. That way if you have any changes, you can let me know. So the way I do my screenshots is I just go to the snipping tool, and if you don't know where it is, if you just type the word snip, you can go there, get your snipping tool, and it's just a way to get a quick screenshot without everything on the screen. Right, and then I can copy and paste that as a proof, and then once I get the approval, then I can send the file. And I'm just sending a message, please let me know if you need any changes. All right, so we should be good to go. I have to cut off for a bit to go ahead and wrap up some other ones that don't want to be on YouTube, as well as get some physical stuff done today too. So I'm going to, oh, snipping tool on the Mac is Command Shift 4. Command Shift 4. So let me see if I can do Control Shift and 4. Nope. I thought maybe we would have similar functions, but nah. Oh well. So Mac, y'all got one up on us PCs on that one. All right, you're absolutely welcome, Deli. And I'm going to be looking out if you need any changes. I'll be looking out for you, okay? All right, loves. I may be back later on with my whole chest camera concoction to show you all in first person how I do the all over-ish for the hoodies. And it's a lot of locations to press. This one I'm pressing the sleeves, I'm pressing the wrist, I'm pressing a shoulder. No, I'm pressing the sleeve design, so down the sleeve. I'm doing left and right of the hood. I'm doing all across the bottom of the front and back, a front design, a back design, and something else that I'm not thinking of right now. Basically every location that you could possibly press on a hoodie, I will be doing that one. So depending on if I have the energy on me, I will go ahead and strap up and with the camera and show you all that one first person, okay? Thank you, Teresa, and hey G, nice to see you all. Well, I'm getting ready to log off just momentarily, so I may see you all this evening, depending on if I can get that energy up in order to shoot that video with you. So hopefully if I do show up, y'all are there with me, and if y'all have any questions about how to do the hoodies and the all-overish type stuff, then I'll be able to kind of see those comments and answer those questions as I work. All right? So I appreciate y'all. I love y'all dearly, and until next time, y'all know what it is. Bye!